This is ABC News Nightline.
I was initially, and still am, very fascinated by what people do online and how they express their sexuality online. It's fascinating.
Nancy Tomasitis is the author of The Joy of Cybersex. She contends the computer can be a great way to meet people and sometimes find a relationship, if you're an adult. But if you're a child...
Adults do prey on kids online. That is a valid fact. I have attempted to, I've gone online in characters of 15-year-olds, and I've witnessed that.
This morning, we're going to surf the internet and visit the African-American community online. Joining us this morning is Nancy Tomasitis, cyber columnist for Computer Life magazine. Good morning, Nancy.
Good morning.
So only 18% of African-Americans have personal computers at home compared to 32% of whites. I want to get to the hows and whys behind the lack of minority involvement in computers in just a moment. But I want to find out what's online that may be of particular interest to African-Americans presently.
Well, I just want to say straight off, in my opinion, in the digital planet, there's the wired world and there's the unwired world. I don't think it makes a difference whether you're black or white or red or Chinese or whatever. Everyone's one color on the internet.
And we have found an interesting homepage in our travels on the net. It belongs to Adrienne Bradley, an engineering student at the University of Michigan.
I've written a lot of books on the social aspects of the internet, and I noticed that you hot link over to an IRC area, and you have a lot of photos of your IRC friends.
What is that, Nancy?
IRC is Internet Relay Chat. It's live chat, so you're talking one-on-one. You could be typing to a friend who's next door, or they could be in Sweden. You're just having these instantaneous kind of conversations.
There's more than you can...
I was just curious, are you doing this to network among other engineers, or you like meeting dates this way? What's
Well, without getting too far into it, it's kind of a bit of a both. You can meet all sorts of interesting people over the net and talk with them in real time, and you meet a new friend almost every day.
Our question, are MUDs the ultimate place to hang out or just an escape from reality? With us this morning is Nancy Tomasitis. She is the author of Net Sex from Ziff Davis Press. Nancy, why don't you describe for us what exactly a MUD is?
A MUD is a text-based virtual reality environment. You can lose yourself in a MUD. You can pretend to be an animal. You can pretend to be a chipmunk, for instance, on a MUD called Furry Muck.
Please welcome cyber sexpert. I guess that's the term we're using. Nancy, can you help me with your last name?
Tomasitis.
Tomasitis. Okay, Nancy Tomasitis. Thanks for being here. Now, she's the author of the soon-to-be-released Penthouse Guide to Cybersex. Now, Nancy, how does someone become a cyber sexpert?
Well, I guess because I've written 3 books on the subject.
Okay. Well, you've also probably played around on this enough that you know what you're talking about.
I sure do.
Okay. Ronnie, can you give us the lowdown on this? What's the truth?
Well, the truth is plenty of people are going online and meeting to meet other people, you know, for adult-oriented relationships. But plenty of people are going online for information, too, and for educational resources.
Okay,
no,
exactly.
People are not just surfing for sex.
Nancy Tomasitis tells us that in the computer world there is no shortage of men waiting to pounce on young girls. Is that right, Nancy?
Very true. I was writing a column for Computer Life, a Ziff Davis magazine out this fall, and I was exploring digital deception. There's a lot of men parading as women. We all know that. I decided to explore this, to be a 15-year-old girl, see what that was like. I adopted a very virginal persona, very friendly, but, very, hands-off kind of thing. I spent a couple weeks online. She got a tremendous amount of email.
This is America's Talking.
Isn't there a magazine that you are related to?
Yes, it's coming out in a couple weeks called Computer Life, and it's from Ziff Davis, and it's a really fabulous magazine. What makes it different to me, just as a normal reader as I flip through the pages, is basically they're taking you along on a tour guide. They're talking, to you, not at you.
Mm-hmm.
Could it isolate us? Instead of us getting together as human beings, that it puts more distance?
No. We've been isolated. I think computers bring us together.
Right.
We meet people they met through the computers. Yes. They never probably would have met. They would have gone their whole life never meeting. And through Odyssey, they were able to connect and to meet.
Nancy Tomasitis wrote the book on cybersex.
That started really on bulletin boards. People started realizing what a great avenue of communications bulletin boards were, and sex wasn't the first thing people did. I think of cybersex as being the marriage of technology with sex, basically. Right now, it exists in adult CD-ROM products. It exists in adult bulletin boards.
With me here in New York City, Nancy Tomashaitis. She's an internet expert and author of Net Talk. Nancy, let me start with you. Are the online dangers so exaggerated? Are they exaggerated, really?
They're definitely exaggerated. I've spent a lot of time in my career looking at adult material online. It's definitely there. And there are pedophiles that exist online. They're offline, too.
The scary part is that you don't know who the pedophile is. You don't know if that 14-year-old you're talking to is an old man or an old woman.
It's very true, which is why I always tell parents that they have to be high-tech these days.
Then cyber sex, computer sleaze, just a push button away. You won't believe what kids are tapping into.
As an experiment, Nancy went online pretending to be a 16-year-old cheerleader named Christy.
Did you anticipate that as a 16-year-old you would get so much dirty mail?
I didn't anticipate it, no, and I was rather disgusted. I felt like I wanted to be undercover for the cops. That's what I felt.